Yo, what is up, guys? It's your boy Tism MMA, short for favoritism. Don't forget it. And today I wanted to cover some things that I've seen recently regarding the Jon Jones versus Tom Aspinall matchup that just really has, I'm sure, gotten on the nerves of many MMA fans out here. And yeah, let's just get right into it. So, for the 10th time here, we have Dana White saying that he's still very confident that the Jon Jones versus Tom Aspinall matchup will happen in 2025. Now, it's really hard to believe Dana here because anytime he talks about it, it's very obvious that they haven't moved the needle and that everything is still very dependent on Jon Jones. Obviously, Aspinall wants the matchup. He's not willing to take anything else other than undisputed gold, which is being held hostage right now by Jon Jones. And obviously the UFC want this fight too because it's massive pay-per-view, guys. Everyone wants to see this fight. Massive pay-per-view. So really it's just reliant on Jon Jones. Now, what is happening with Jon Jones? Many people are speculating that he's ducking, which I would agree with considering he fought 40-something-year-old Stipe, who pretty much came out of retirement just for that fight and then retired right after he lost. He was slow, very unreactive to the things coming his way. It looked like he didn't want to be in there, nor did he really care to be in there. Yeah, I don't know why they made that matchup. We'll continue to complain about it for who knows how long to come, but just such a waste of time, especially when you have such a young, hungry, and talented fighter in Tom Aspinall, who should right now be the undisputed champion of the heavyweight division. Jon Jones has requested 6 months pretty much to get ready. He claimed this a few weeks ago that he would need 6 months to prepare. Now, I don't know if this is some type of negotiating tactic. I don't know if he's trying to cycle on and off the roids like he usually does. He's been caught like 4 freaking times by USADA, just busted for having something in his system. We know that Jon Jones is a PED cheat and has done so throughout his entire career. I mean, it's been confirmed. Chael Sonnen talked about how he used to hide underneath, their octagon or whatever in their training camp. Obviously, he had pictograms of, I don't even know what the fuck, but Jones has been busted for this. He's been a PED cheat for pretty much his whole career. We all know that. And now he wants 6 months either to cycle off of it, to get some form of negotiation tactics, or to become the longest reigning UFC heavyweight champion. Now, this is something that ESPN MMA posted themselves. They've said that Jon Jones officially has the second longest undisputed heavyweight title reign in UFC history, right behind Cain Velasquez. He's pretty much on track to having the longest title reign in 2 different weight classes. This is not fucking legendary. This is not an accomplishment. This is not something to praise. You can praise his light heavyweight run. That is completely fine. But what he's doing here in the heavyweight division is not worthy of praise. That is not legendary. He has only defended his title once against not the top contender, against a retiree in Stipe Miocic. He's only had 1 defense against Stipe Miocic. I don't know how this is worthy of praise. His heavyweight run has been super tainted. Like, the Cyril Gane win was great. Took him out of there quickly. People actually thought that Cyril Gane was going to beat Jones. So I do think we have to give props there. I know Cyril Gane is notorious for having terrible grappling, especially after he fought against Ngannou, and then Jones after that, and losing both of those to pretty much just getting out wrestled. But at the time, people did think that Cyril Gane was going to beat Jones. So that is an accomplishment. The way in which he earned the belt was fine. I think a lot of MMA fans can agree with that. But Cyril Gane had never touched undisputed gold. He was only ever an interim champion. Cyril Gane had lost to Francis Ngannou, who apparently Jones had been ducking for pretty much 3 years, refusing to move up to heavyweight, abandoned the light heavyweight division, waiting until he got that Cyril Gane matchup, which was extremely favorable for him. And now that he's seemingly ducking Tom Aspinall, it really does seem like he was for sure ducking Francis Ngannou. He is wasting the prime of Tom Aspinall, who could have undisputed gold on him, who can start stacking up title defenses, and instead is sidelined, waiting for Jon Jones when we have no idea when this matchup is going to happen. And by the time that the matchup is announced and that the fight is happening, he's going to be the longest reigning heavyweight champion. Another fake accolade added onto the list of things that he's done that people are going to glaze him over and hype him up for. But this is not an accomplishment. Real MMA fans know this is not an accomplishment because it was a paper first title defense. He's been avoiding Tom Aspinall this entire time. He needs 6 months for whatever fucking reason in a camp. And it just seems like either this fight's just not going to happen, or I don't know what Jones is doing. I don't know if he's trying to cycle off of stuff. I don't know if he's just playing this huge mental warfare game and on Tom Aspinall, hoping that somehow he cracks and uses that as an advantage. I really don't know what's going on, but the UFC have to apply more pressure. But it seems like Jon Jones has all the leverage on them. So yeah, I'm just incredibly disappointed in the UFC's matchmaking. I'm incredibly disappointed that people are praising Jon Jones for this fake accolade. This means nothing. Absolutely nothing. What matters in a title reign are the amount of title defenses and the quality of opponents for each of those title defenses. This is not one of those. A retired Stipe is not a great title defense. And being champion for almost 3 years essentially, while having only one title defense, is not an accomplishment. So yeah, I thought I'd just talk a little bit about this, as I noticed that people are continuing to praise Jones for what he's done in the sport when there's so many asterisks in just his entire legacy. Now, don't get me wrong, the longevity and the reign at light heavyweight was insane. Definitely makes a top 5 GOAT conversation because of that. But when you bring in things like his PED usage being busted by USADA, you know, the ducking allegations for both Ngannou and Tom Aspinall, and the fact that his last few fights have not really been the highest quality if we think about it. I mean, he's beaten Stipe, not a good win at the time. Stipe is has an incredible legacy. He was an incredible fighter, but that was not the same Stipe who showed up last November. Cyril Gane, I'll give him that. Like I said, decent win. Then before that, what? Dominic Reyes, decent-ish win, I guess. Anthony Smith, Thiago Santos, decisions. I don't know. There's just a lot going on. And his best win at light heavyweight against Daniel Cormier, he popped. He fucking popped. It's not even a win. And the UFC has shown it as a highlight to hype up Jones and glaze him. And it's not an official win. He popped for PEDs. That is not a legitimate win against Daniel Cormier, their second fight. So yeah, just a lot of asterisks, like I said. Very frustrated with what's been going on in the UFC, and I really do hope that they make a change. Just wanted to add this blurb here at the end to show visually his last few fights, trailing all the way back to 2019. I didn't realize it had actually been that long. But yeah, decision win against Anthony Smith. A split decision win against Thiago Santos. I didn't say this in the video because I was so busy with the damn rant. A unanimous decision robbery win. Let's talk about that. Robbery win. Should have been 3-2 Dominic Reyes, 48-47. A unanimous robbery win against Dominic Reyes. And then obviously the Stipe and the Gane fights. You know, take it as you will. I do still think Jones is a top 5 fighter of all time. I think his ability to mix it up and just be great at doing pretty much everything, and game planning, his IQ, all of it is just super high level. Like, I don't want to take that away from him. Don't get me wrong in this video. But yeah, man, I don't know. Let me know your thoughts down below. Hope you enjoy this video, and yeah, have a blessed day, everyone.